Welcome back to the Enlisted Real Estate Podcast. Another wonderful episode brought to you today by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brian Baker.
What's up?
I am Richie Fortunato, and we are going to talk about the real estate market and how it's turning and how it is a seller's market. And in the new home world, a lot of builders are getting rid of incentives because the amount of sales is pretty crazy right now.
It's insane.
Yeah. So what's going on in your world over there, Brian?
Yeah, man, I'm glad we're talking about this because I think this is a real cool topic, is the incentives. And, you know, how often do we have people who we initially met, say, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, and now they're coming back and, you know, they're asking questions. And I've gotten it a couple times lately. So my incentives are pretty much gone. They've been gone for quite a few months. I mean, I've got a little bit for closing costs, you know, with preferred lenders and everything, but yeah, incentives are pretty much gone. And we had a really good one about 6 months ago. And I got now customers coming in and saying, you know, hey, well, what about that incentive? That was a good one. That would help. And I was like, yeah, you should have bought 6 months ago then.
Yeah.
Because it's gone. Prices are higher and there's no incentive. So it's, but you're right, man. It's a seller's market, you know. It's interesting, you know, but people are still buying, you know, and it's interesting. Part of the reason of incentives going away is twofold. Yeah. But it's also sometimes they use it to slow the pace of sales, you know? So, I mean, our pace is well above anticipation. You guys seeing something similar, like as far as like your sales pace goes?
And in certain communities, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, in mine, we're done pretty much. Only the model left.
Right.
The communities we have in like Orange City and Davenport, where the prices are a lot lower.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just killing it. I think the one we have in Davenport, between the two people out there, like 16 sales. I think our Hayden City one is like around 15 or so. Orange City is, I think they're in the double digits. So you can't build them as fast as they're selling. So you have to slow it down.
You got to slow it down somehow.
But salespeople are like, shit, man, give me my incentives back, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I know. Because people buy it and they're still expecting like I get it. I'm the 16th sale this month and you had 20 sales last month. And that puts me really far down the list, but they still want it in, you know, 6 months, right? You know, and the ability to keep up with that, you can't. So, which is funny, you know, rather than just set proper expectations and write the sale while you can, they try to slow it up, which I would get the sales while I can get them.
But you gotta be like, if you're looking at buying a house and you know the community is selling that many, like the prices go up so much. And then like when people are like, oh, I gotta wait a couple months, you know, save some money. Save money for what it's going to cost you more money to wait 4 months.
I know.
You know, and if it's saving up money for a deposit, I mean, we can we can work with that.
Absolutely. And it's not like you don't owe the whole home up front, or even the full deposit typically isn't up front, you know?
So I think sometimes we, you know, between the Realtor or the NAC,
full down payment to clarify.
Yeah. Between the Realtor or the NAC, you gotta, you know, let the buyer know, like, you don't have to have, if your deposit is 3.5%, we don't need it all today.
Right.
You know? You can break it up into 3 payments usually.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about the build times. I mean, you got 6 months. Sometimes it's 10 months.
Yeah, 8 to 10 months right now to save up for the down payment.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's, I mean, it's definitely, it's a hot market, you know, and I think we talked about this before, you know, kind of in your situation personally, when you buy in and wanting to just sell it now while it's hot, you know, when I have people talking about, you know, well, you know, we're trying to decide if we're going to sell, if we're going to wait and sell it, you know, later. And I'm like, why? You're talking about how fast your community and all the homes in your community are selling today. Can you assure me 100% that in 6 months, they're going to sell as fast? And they're like, well, I mean, no, and I can't, you know, so why would you wait? Who knows what 6 months is going to bring, you know, election or no election, you know, so sell it, get it done.
Yeah. I know what it is now, and I'd rather get the most I can now. You know, you don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. So, which is why, like, I think it's interesting to slow sales paces down in certain communities. You know, I think setting expectations is the key. you know, as long the buyers just need to understand, you know, and that, hey, listen, we're not looking at a 6-month time frame. Maybe we're looking at a 10 to 12 months because we have so much else to build, right?
Mhm.
So instead of just pushing buyers away, you know, let's sell what we can while the selling is hot, you know. So why, you know, you getting a lot of negotiations and stuff, or how are you guys dealing with that?
We really, we never negotiated in here. If you're building a house, you're not going to negotiate anything right now, especially right now.
Yeah,
Inventory home, you're going to get something. You know, you can always get a little something extra.
you can negotiate a little bit, yeah.
But they're not going to give you
Sometimes.
anything ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, we're selling our model. It's the last one. And I had these people, we have like was now pricing on a lot of our inventories or models. And like this model is about 480 and we dropped it to 430 because, you know, it's got to appraise realistically.
Yeah.
So we lowered it to 430 and I just had somebody make me 2 offers. The first one was like $380,000.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. Good thing I had my mask on. I know my facial expression change, and sometimes I can't help myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a polite way to tell people you're an idiot.
I got to play poker with you, man.
I can play poker.
Oh,
I just
so you can hold the poker face there.
I don't have a poker face, but I'll laugh and joke, and I'll tell you what I
Yeah.
have in poker, and you're like, no, you don't. No, who says the cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I look at the realtor. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, first of all, if you're a realtor and you're trying to make an offer, don't do it with a person with you. Like, they both sat down across my desk.
Yeah.
And she starts telling me everything wrong with the house, right? Oh, the kitchen doesn't have double ovens. The closet was too small. There's, you know, the two bedrooms have to share this bathroom. I mean, it was a long list, right?
Yeah.
The lot in the back, it slopes down. So this is how we got to our 380. I'm like, it sounds like you don't even like the house. Like,
Right.
why are you offering me anybody at all? So I was like, yeah, I'm not submitting that. They're like, you're not? I'm like, no, man. Like that, I'm not getting yelled at for you.
Oh
I
yeah.
can tell you right now, there's no chance.
Yep.
I was like, how do you even get to that number? Like, I was like, we sold a house right next door. It's 20 square feet smaller for $450.
Exactly.
You want me to sell you this one for $380? Come on.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yeah. How are you going to maintain the value of the community?
Hey, you're going
to come in and all your neighbors are going to hate you. You're like, man, you just devalued my house by $70,000, you know?
Yeah. And then
They probably don't care though. They're probably investors.
They don't care. No, it wasn't an
investors?
investor.
Oh,
no.
they were going to live it?
Certain culture. And then
Yeah. Okay.
So and then they came back. They came back about 3 days later. Because at the time we had the model and we had a lot open.
Yeah.
We had our last to be built lot. And I'm like, if you wanted to build this house on that lot, the base price is $410. And you want me to sell you this for $380?
Oh wow. The base is 410.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you guys are so far off.
Yeah.
So
that's when you ask them, you know, should I pull out my checkbook and pay for half of this house for you?
Yeah.
You know, like.
I was like, I looked at her. I'm like, if this was your listing and somebody came up and you're listing it for $430 and somebody offered you $380, what would you say? She's like, it's not about that. I'm like, okay.
Oh, it's not. Interesting.
So they came back like 3 days later. They're like, oh, we want to talk about the lot. I'm like, sold.
Sometimes, like, I'm sorry.
I love it.
It feels so good. Oh. You know, like, I told you things are selling.
Yeah.
You tried to say, you know, call my bluff or whatever, and things are selling, you know, like. I'm not a high pressure sales. Like, no. I don't care to be, you know, if you want it, then cool, let's talk, let's figure it out. You know, I'm all about, I'll go out of my way to help you out. I'm not going to try and force feed you stuff. You know what I mean? Because that means you don't want it.
Listen, it's not my house. It ain't my money. So if you want to wait and lose it, if you can wake up, if it's gone tomorrow and you wake up and you're okay, then you don't want the house anyways.
Yep.
But if you're going to wake up and feel sad or like pissed that you didn't do it, then you fucked up.
Yep. And then you'll just come in, and then you know what? You'll spend more money. Thank you. Yeah.
Keep looking, because there's nothing in this area that you want to be in at that price range for what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So they came back and then they're trying to make another offer on the model. They're like, oh, 400 and I'll buy it today. I got 20% down. They tell me all this. Listen, I don't care how much you're putting down. I don't care if it's cash or financing. It's going to appraise. It's going to close.
Yeah.
You know, It's all the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
Listen, if you qualify for the house, you could be a VA, $0
yeah,
down. It's the same to me as $20,000 down.
yeah.
You know,
It's not
I'm
a,
still
yeah.
getting, we still get the full amount. You know, the house closes.
It'd be different if we're selling this for 480 in your cash, and then we take it because this shit ain't appraising at 480.
Yeah.
So then you take the cash. The cash is good.
Yeah. Cash is good.
So yeah, then they're like, oh, 400. I'm like, no. Like, you're not going to submit it to your management? No. It's like, if you want me to submit anything, I'll tell you right now, it's got to be like at least 420.
429. Oh, I would have said 429.
Yeah, 420. I was like, I doubt they even take that.
Yeah. I mean, you already dropped it from 480, man. Like,
That's a model. I mean, so much stuff in here.
yeah. You guys sell it? You sell the furniture with it, or?
We will. It has to be done separately.
Yeah.
I think the last model we sold, the people bought the furniture.
Did they?
But they had to pay cash for the furniture.
Yeah, because they want to appraise with the.
You can't put it there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, so if you're and she was doing it in front of the people, and I felt bad because like I'm trying not to make her look bad in front of her buyer.
No, absolutely.
But when you came in, like when they come in like that, she didn't watch her podcast on how to do it because I told you, look, text me the offer first and then come in, you know?
Yeah.
Don't sit down with your buyer like, oh, I'm going to get you the best deal ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you know, and it's funny, like it's like instead of a real estate agent trying to work with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
They try to pin us up, you know, in front of the buyers to make us look bad, which one, especially if we're building it, your buyer needs to trust us, right? Because we actually are the ones dealing with it. You know, the real estate agents what do they do? They don't know the process. They don't have all the intel, you know? So when they do that, that always just shocks me. Like why are you trying to make me the enemy? Yeah. You know, I don't get it. Let's work together and you know, it's a benefit for everybody, right?
Yeah. So, the real good ones will.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, but you get those relationships with the good agents, and, you know, there's ones I love to work with because they're awesome. They do a great job with the buyers, and they help out tremendously. And, you know, I mean, for the most part, they let me, you know, do all the talking, and, you know, it's the ones that come in and they try to tell them how things work and what the process is. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You work here? You know, have you ever even sold this brand of builders homes? Oh, never. So that's interesting. Please tell me more, you know. It's like, because every builder's different. Right. So that one drives me nuts, you know, but because those are the ones where you're squashing the opportunity for a deal. Yeah. You know, you're throwing it out the window.
Get out of your own way.
Yep. Absolutely. I know. But I mean, we're not even like right now, offers and negotiations. Like I've got I've got a couple quick move-ins left. I mean, they're not even really negotiating or taking offers for the most part on these. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they're like mid-construction. So they still have a little bit to go. So
that midpoint's tough, man.
It's tough. It's very tough because you can't,
especially if you don't have a model or something else built.
Yep. And I don't.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm. I don't have any, like they are my only ones to show. So it makes it a little bit more difficult, but I've got a couple, and I've got these two people who are looking, and I was like, sweet, one's looking, you know, here, one's looking here. Well, you know, then they come back yesterday, and, you know, I was working with them, and they kind of shifted on me more than I thought they would. And now they're both interested in the exact same home.
Oh, it's great.
Oh man. I was like, listen, not trying to be the, you know, high pressure, but like, if this is what you want, you got to make a move. Cause I do have somebody else who this is the one that they are looking at, you know? And so call my bluff, you know, this other one's been looking at it longer than they have, you know? So they've been back and forth going over paperwork and stuff for a week. And, you know, she wants to make sure it fits a pool. So we've been making sure and getting the, you know, survey and all of that with the pool company. So, you know, like she's doing a lot of research on it, but, you know,
I just had a good realtor. It was like 2 weeks ago, maybe we had one. It was a cancellation. We got back, and we had the permit. The house is ready to go. And the buyer flew in from Puerto Rico just to buy a house. Right.
Nice.
And he's supposed to go. He was going out to Davenport to look at a couple communities. So every morning we have our like a conference call with all the salespeople, and they're like, so like the guy in Davenport is like, oh, I got a 11 o'clock internet appointment with Louis Cologne, and then the Haines City guy is like, I got a 12 o'clock appointment with Louis Cologne, and I'm just listening to it all, and it finally goes on to me, and I'm like, I got a 3 o'clock with Louis Cologne. They're like, really? I'm like, no. Right? Check it out. So the realtor actually, I get a call from a realtor. Like, hey, I got a buyer. You know, we wanted to come in. We're in the area to see what you have. I'm like, cool, come on in. So he comes in. I'm like, yeah, I have. I was first asking him the price. You know, he's like, I want to be around the 320s or something like that. I'm like, closest I can get you is 350. Right? And he's like, well, let me see. So it's the same floor plan as the model. So the guy liked it. Never went out to Davenport. He goes to the Universal the next day, makes an appointment through the internet. He's like, I want to come in on Monday to go over, or Sunday or Monday, to go over numbers. So I get the appointment from the guy. I'm like, this guy looks familiar. So I call the internet. And she's like, yeah, he said he came and talked to you. He wanted to go over numbers. I'm like, all right. So I text the realtor. He's like, oh, we don't have an appointment. We called you yesterday. I'm like, dude, I just got an appointment, man, for you guys. So he checks and he's like, oh, yeah, we're coming in tomorrow. All right. So they're getting on a plane at like, this was on Monday. They're like, we're getting on a plane at 2, and they're supposed to meet me at 12. I'm like, listen, I don't have a meeting on Monday. I'll meet you at 10. So they come in, they look at everything again, and they're about to leave, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, are you getting on a plane now? And he's like, yeah. And the realtor's pretty quiet. He's not really saying anything. Sometimes I'll let the realtor push. The realtor knows the guy more than me. I'm not trying to be the pushy one.
Yeah.
So the realtor should be like, well, if you like it, let's do it. He wasn't saying anything. So I'm like, are you about to get on a plane? He's like, yeah. I'm like, if you want that house, I don't get these very often as inventory at this price, because if you want to build it, you're starting at 380. And this one's 350 with everything. I'm like, I would not get on an airplane, because by the time you land back in Puerto Rico, if I call you and tell you it's sold, how are you going to feel? He's like, oh, man, I want it. So I'm like, all right.
Let's go do it.
That's like, I actually close somebody.
Yeah. Hey, Richie. I'm so proud of you, man. And they said it couldn't be done, but we've turned Richie around.
I know. It was a beautiful thing.
That's funny. But you know what? I mean, in all honesty, we call it a close, but what were you doing? You're just being honest. Yeah, exactly. You're just being honest with them. You know, like, if you want it, you like it, like, what are you waiting on? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
did it all.
Yep. Fly away and it's gone, you know, and it's true. So, but that's cool.
So sometimes realtors, you got to push them a little bit, because sometimes the salespeople push it. I've talked to realtors, and like, I hate when I get pushy new home counselors.
Well, some of them are a little over the top, but yeah, a little bit. But
oh yeah, I feel you.
The thing that kills me is, like, you know, when you get the realtor and like in that situation, right? So you get the realtors who will help, you know, like, hey, listen, like, before you get on a plane, if you really like this, like, let's do this. Let's lock this up. You know, you go home and you have a home and you know it. Or the invert, where you go, hey, they love this home. It's perfect. They can't find anything they don't like about it, but we do have another appointment just to go look at another home. What do you mean? What are you doing? One, you're going to confuse yourself, and you know, that doesn't make any sense. What happens if the person who looked at this home that's perfect for you comes in after you leave?
That's what happened with the lot. So the last lot we had, Denise sold it. Mm-hmm. She had a guy come in. It was like late on a Sunday night. Got pre-qualified. He came back in. So she worked. I'm off on Tuesday. So he came back in on Tuesday. She had a internet appointment with the realtor at 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Realtor comes by himself, goes and looks around. He's like, I like him. We'll bring my people back later on. Her appointment from Sunday, or her guy from Sunday, who's already pre-qualified, came back in Tuesday, like around 12 or so.
Yep. Bought
it. Realtor came back in around like 2 or 3 while the guy's signing the contract, pissed.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean I can't buy it now? I'm like, you left.
You left. Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to hold it. You might come back and maybe you'll like it and
Yeah.
your people like it and
How
you'll
often
buy
do you
it.
get
No.
that too? You know, like I have just, hold it. Don't sell it. Give me a day or two. And it's like, why,
No.
how can I do that? How many times I've had somebody tell me to do
Oh
that
yeah.
and then they don't come back,
Yeah.
like I can't, sometimes people just don't they can't say no, you know what I mean? And then they just ghost you, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's annoying, but I mean, it is what it is. So like when somebody tells you that, like, how do I just say, oh, I won't sell it to the next person that walks in and tries to hand me money?
That's why I don't do
Who's
live
ready
holds.
Yeah, we don't do those.
I won't do them anymore.
No.
Pointless.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take something off and be like, it doesn't, because it's
Yeah.
not people, give you the $1,000 check. You're not cashing it. It's not going anywhere. They're not losing anything. They get it back.
They get it back.
They're not
Yeah,
really tied to
absolutely.
it. Some people are like, oh, but it gets them in the mood. They start signing the paper and I'm like, no.
No. I mean,
I got people that sign and the next day like, I
sometimes-
changed my mind.
Yeah. Like, yeah, the ones who are committed, like you're like, man, this is, good. We got full excitement and commitment, let alone somebody who's not even fully committed. Yeah, man, I want you to be committed. It's a lot of work. The moment we have to go start putting all the purchase agreements together, right? We write the contract, they leave. I still have work to do with that, right? To push it along. I don't want to do that if you're not serious.
I don't care about the work, but I hate when they cancel.
Well, it's not about the work, but I mean, like, I don't want to do it if you're not serious.
Oh
You're
yeah,
gonna
no.
cancel.
I don't want that. I hate submitting it, turning it all in. Like we hit the notification, so it goes to everybody in the company.
Yes.
And they're like, and then you have to like, oh, never mind, they canceled. Like, why they canceled? They have to answer the questions. Like, why couldn't you just keep them? Like, huh. Thanks for making me look like an asshole.
Exactly.
I've literally had one guy try to buy in here about 3 times, and every time he backed out. I'm like, I'm fucking done with you. And he still calls me. You got anything, Richie?
Yeah.
No, man, I'm good. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why?
Fuck that.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, man. Let's get going.
Yep.
So
It's time for
realtors,
work.
listen, if you're to negotiate, ask the new home salesperson first in private or text them. Don't do it in front of your customer.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, guys, we're out. Thanks for
We're
listening. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep. Share it.
Share
Spread
it.
the word.
Go see Brian's sexy face on YouTube.
Yeah. Because I got to wear a mask. So even if you come and see me, you probably won't even know it's me.
Oh, we got Denise photobombing in the back.
Hey.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Bye.